Hello, 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 everyone. How you guys doing tonight? Sue Lawson, number one. She says, "Hey, PG. Hey to you, girl. How you doing tonight? Good to see ya." Hey, Steph, number two. Hey, y'all. Hey, back to you, girl. Hey, back to you. Number two. And Cool Gamer came in third. Cool Gamer says, "Hello. Good to see ya. Good to see you tonight. God bless." Absolutely. Um, how you doing, precious me, tonight? How you doing, girl? Hello, PG. Um, how you doing? This I ain't seen this one before. Down. Anyway, he says hello, hand pink waving. Hello to you. Hello to you. I know you're new in here because I ain't seen you before, or as far as I know. Hillbilly 29, how are you doing tonight? Hello, PG and chat. Much love. I sure have missed you. Girl, I missed you guys too. I missed you guys as well. Always L8, how you doing, sweetie? Hello, PG and chat. Um, I'm going to ask everyone tonight to pray for beautiful Sunflower. She had lost her mother. Her mother has passed away. She's one of our mods in here. A dear friend to me and many of you. She has lost her mom. I would like for everyone to please pray for her, that that God gives her some peace and comfort in all of this. A lot of us has been there, and we know how hard it is. So if everyone could just keep her in your prayers, I would so appreciate it. So yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know and ask for prayers for her. Oh, I appreciate that, Tracy. I appreciate that. God bless. God bless. It's not easy. It's not easy. Losing your best friend, right? Our mothers are our best friend, and that is like the hardest thing in the world to go through. Absolutely. Um, Hillbilly 29. God bless. Molly, I appreciate it. God bless. Yeah, I hope she's watching tonight and sees how many prayers is going up for her, and how many people, how many friends and people she has out here that really do care. God bless. How you doing, Pom Mommy? Uh, she says, "Hey, PG. Hey to you, girl. Hey to you. How you doing, Sun King? How you doing tonight, hon? Prayers incoming. Hope you're doing well, PG. Amen. Yeah. Um, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Absolutely. Our bucket list has holes. Prayers for our beautiful sunflower. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, God bless. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. God bless. Amen. To some of us, they are heroes. God be with her and her family and friends. Amen. And you're so right, Ivy. You're so right. I know I know my mother was my best friend. She was like, I love my mother. I really, really loved my mother. So I know how hard it is, to lose them. And there ain't no words that no one can say to you that can help, right? There ain't no words that anyone can say that can ease that pain. That's something that just has to happen one day at a time, right? And sometimes we get down the road and it's like we get thrown right back to that day, here and there. It takes a while. It does get better, but it doesn't ever leave. And you know, and I think that, I think that's God's way of telling us what real love is, right? Is when you miss someone that much. That's real love, right? Absolutely. So, I don't think that, I don't think there's no greater or more powerful love other than God's love and Jesus' love for us. I don't think there's no, besides their love for the humans out here, I think there is no greater love than a mother's love for her children. A real mother truly, truly loves her children. We think our mothers are a nag. We think they're a nag, right? And we don't know. You don't know until you got your own children what your mother was going through. Then you realize how much, she loved you, how much she cared about you, how much she just wanted to keep you safe. And then you realize how much you wasn't wanting to be kept safe too, right? So it's horrible. Always L8, absolutely. Go hit that like button to show your support for the channel. Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Hit that like button and let Summer and the missing children know how much they're appreciated here and how much we are for them. It's been a busy day today, right? Busy day today. A lot was going on all day long, it seemed. I seen Candace crawled out from under her rock, right? Candace crawled out from under her rock. She climbed out from under that rock and went to up on Daisy's panel, right? Where she got a pity party. Big pity party. Oh, poor Candace, right? Oh, poor Candace. I don't believe Candace is guilty at all. Well, I'm bagged the difference, right? I bag the difference when it comes to Candace. Let's not forget that Summer was in the custody of Grandis and Candace and supposedly came up missing out of a house within 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes. And therefore, at the beginning, let's go back to the beginning. Because when the 2 minutes was sounding like bullshit, do we remember that Candace tried to say then it might have been 5 or 10 minutes? She don't know. Remember that? We remember that when she was trying to hike the time up a little bit, more than 2 minutes, right? I know we all remembered that. Yeah, and supposedly it was 20 some $1,000 somebody seen, and that was a lie. No, it was 90 some thousand. Exactly, Molly. It was 90 some thousand after she went to the bank and accidentally laid the statement out where someone could see it. So, absolutely, and how people, what Candace is out there for is the support, right? I mean, she has this friend pop up. What's that friend's name? Kathy, I think her name's Kathy. But anyway, she pops up, right? And oh, me and Candace, we don't speak right now, had some kind of falling out, but she went to rehab one day, right? One day, if that's even the truth. They got her over to rehab, and she called and wanted to go, be picked up, right? And I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it was, you know, if it was, if even if it was true, even if it was true, it was one freaking, it was for a few hours, right? A few hours. I mean, she didn't even last 24 hours in a rehab. Pick me up now. I can't do this, right? And I don't. I mean, I thought she's just, an alcoholic, and an alcoholic. I mean, I don't think they're going to medicate you right off the bat for alcoholism. She said they was, medicated her all up. I don't think so, because, you haven't even, I mean, yeah, if you start having withdrawals in 2 or 3 days, then usually they'll give you something, right? If you start having withdrawals. But she, they don't take you in there and right away just drug you up. I mean, so it sounds to me like she didn't even go, if you ask me. I don't know, but it sounds to me like, yeah. And, it disgusts me with all these bootlickers, right? Bunch of bootlickers. They're licking Candace's boots right now, talking about, here's my thing. The Wells are suspects. They are suspects. I mean, I don't give a damn if they took a lie detector's test or not. Law enforcement did not. And whether they passed it or not. Because you know what? They didn't get no clarification, right? They did not get no clarification. Nobody came out and said, oh, the parents have been cleared. Nope, absolutely not. Now, law enforcement in Georgia, when it came to Michael Vaughn, they said the parents are clear, right? They let us know that, the mother for sure was cleared, right? The mother for sure was cleared in the Michael Vaughn's case. So, there you go. Exactly. That's right, Sun King. They can. They absolutely can be cheated. And sometimes, sometimes law enforcement don't have to tell you the truth. They don't have to tell you, they can say you passed it when you didn't. And they know you didn't, right? And that way they can get more evidence upon you. So, but I'm thinking that Don and Candace pretty much think they didn't pass the test, because if Donna was, if hell bent on, hey, I took that lie detector's test and I passed it. I passed it with flying colors. I was at work that day. I had nothing to do with any of this. He would have been on Steve Wilkos taking that lie. Actually, he'd have been on Dr. Phil's taking that lie detector's test, but they declined it, and that was part of the negotiations for them to go on the Dr. Phil show, was the fact that they did not have to take lie detector's tests. There you go. So they're afraid of lie detector's tests, and that's why he's not going on to the doctor or on to Steve Wilkos as well, right? Don Wells ain't going on Steve Wilkos because, bam, he don't want to be hit in the head with a chair, right? He don't want to get smacked with that chair. Right? You don't want a chair thrown at him. And I don't think he could pass the test either, right? I don't. I think, he's like, sure, if it'll clear me and me taking it'll clear Candace as well, I'll be on there. Hell, let's get it done. And you know, then it's like, nope, I ain't going there. What he did is he researched it. He researched, right? Because that's what Don loves to do. He loves to do the research. And he found out that, you're going to take a drug test before the lie detector's test to just make sure that you ain't got nothing in your system that will possibly mess up the lie detector's test, right? Then you get to take the lie detector's test. And Don was like, nope. And they check you to make sure that, and they want you to bring the prescriptions that the doctor, gives you, a list of your medicines that, from your doctor, and they call your doctor to make sure that those are the medicines that you're on, right? They check into your doctor, your pharmacy. So, and if they find anything else in your system, you're screwed, right? You're screwed. So, yeah. So Donald feels like, he ain't got a chance in Hades of passing that test. So, there you go. Yeah, I'm tired, I'm tired of I can't even stomach watching people, you know, um I cannot stomach watching people coddle these fucking suspects. I mean, if you really are for Don and Candace Wells, you are not for the victim, which is Summer Moon Utah Wells, right? Because these two parents was not ever doing anything for Summer. Actually, they were doing everything against Summer, right? They were trying to shut down her reward fund, if you remember early on, along with Benny, trying to get rid of her reward fund. They didn't want the big billboards. They did not want them. Actually, Donald was pretty damn upset about that one, right? Thought that they should have gave him the money instead of putting it into them big old billboards. And they wasn't going to be there, when they wasn't going to be there when they went up to celebrate them going up. Remember that? And any other parent, if people fought that hard to get that done, hell, we'd have been out there cheering it on, right? We'd have been out there cheering it on and shaking hands and hugging everybody that, was a part of it. No, this just is not normal. This is not normal behavior for parents with a missing child. Absolutely not. And, and also they won't let no one search their property. If anyone tries to search their property, they're going to jail. Donald, Candace, nobody wants to search your fucking property, dude. Nobody wants to come up there and search a damn thing. Because the way you guys have already acted from day one, what we're wondering is why you're not already in fucking jail. That's what we're wondering. We're wondering what's taking law enforcement so long to lock your asses up. Right? That's what we're wondering. And, and I'm going to tell you now, people don't change their minds from you're guilty as hell. I'm sure you did something to Summer, to all of a sudden, I've changed my mind completely. They're innocent. That's bullshit. That is pure bullshit if you ask me. No way in hell. No way in hell. But all it shows is, for me, all it shows, man, that they don't care about Summer. That's what it shows to me. Right? It shows to me they're not, they're not supporting the victim. They're supporting the freaking disgusting suspects. And Don Wells supposedly was at work. Supposedly he was at work and he's still not cleared. He's still a suspect. So what does that tell us? That Don Wells, no, they don't know if he was at work or not. He did not have an alibi for the 3 hours from 3 o'clock to 6:30. He did not have no solid alibis during that time that he was indeed at work. I think he had an alibi that he was there, that he was at the work site from about 5:30 to, no, let me go back from about 5 o'clock to 6:30 when law enforcement was called. From 5 o'clock to 6:30 when law enforcement was called, because somebody came in and talking to him when Candace, or someone had just barely been in and talked to him when Candace called him. And then his boss came in as he was packing up and getting ready to leave. So from 3 o'clock to, like, I'd say 4:30, Don didn't have no alibis as well, right? So that's an hour and a half that he didn't have no alibi whatsoever, for that day. And he might have not have had those alibis. I mean, this is what Don's telling us. According to law enforcement, they don't know where Don was at 5:08, right? When the phone call came in for him. He could have been on his way back to work at that time. We don't know. What I'm saying is it wasn't solid enough to clear him in the disappearance of Summer, right? Absolutely, she does. Candace goes up on there, and yes, she doesn't want to talk about Summer. She wants to talk about her and her girlfriend, and and if she sees people in the chat starting to ask a lot of questions about Summer or something, she drops, right? She don't even tell Daisy, well, I gotta go or nothing. She just, bam, gone, right? Yeah. She just drops down. Candace is only out, like Donald said early on. He wanted to shut everything down and stay away from all media, all everything. And when I asked him, why he wasn't, why they wasn't doing that, just sticking with the news stations and law enforcement, he let me know, it was because of the money. It was because of all that, support coming in, and the Cash App and all the, presents and the gift cards. And I mean, they were pouring in a shit ton of money support, and they were loving it, and they didn't want to give that up. They did not want to give that up. Absolutely not. I mean, they were getting Ray-Ban glasses. They were getting brand new cell phones, but they wasn't thinking about, getting attorneys. They wasn't thinking about getting lawyers, to keep their sons, right? To keep their boys. They wasn't thinking about, you know, getting a another place, right? Another to rent a house right there over in Kingsport or somewhere to, to be able to keep the boys, go rent an apartment so they could keep the boys, and while they fixed the house up on the hill, and they would be there every day. Don could stay there at night in case Summer would have showed up or something, and you know but they wasn't trying to do anything to work it to keep their family together at all. um you know they made a 6-month plan with Child Protective Services to keep their boys, and now it's a 20-month plan, right? Because we're going on 21 months. Summer missing, and the boys were taken about a month after Summer, about 3 weeks after Summer came up missing. So, it's going on 20 months for the boys and 21 months for Summer. So their 6-month plan turned into 20 months, right? And you want to tell me you give a fuck about your kids? You went to a rehab, few hours and went home? I mean, girl, they didn't have time to drug you, right? For anything. They didn't have time to assess you for anything, right? I mean, let's pat her on the back. Let's pat her on the back for going there, filling out some paperwork, getting checked in, and then checking back out. Right? Let's give her a bunch of applause, as Kathy would say. There you go, Candace. There you go. Right? Good going, girl. Good going. No, I'm going to tell you what. For one, a real mother wouldn't have an alcoholism problem anyway, because a real mother knows she has to be in her right mind to take care of her children, and that alcohol would have been in the garbage years ago, right? A real mother doesn't get on alcohol and drugs because they are too afraid of not being in their right mind and being able to take care of their children the way their children need to be taken care of. What I'm saying is, a real mother has a greater love for her children than she does for some fucking habits that she don't need to have anyway, right? There you go. That's that's my my theory on it all. Recovery is possible, absolutely. But you know what? You lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? You can lead it to water, but you can't make it drink. People, you can talk to your blue in the face with someone that, needs to go to rehab. They need to go to rehab. Everybody else knows they don't need to go to rehab. They know they need to go to rehab. But until they want to get clean, until they want to straighten their life out, you might as well talk to a fucking wall. Right? You wanting something for someone, isn't going to get it done. You can want everything in the world for people, but unless they want it also, you're fighting a losing battle, right? It's a losing battle. Just imagine how God feels, right? Just imagine how God feels. He's trying to lead everyone to him, right? He's trying to lead everyone in Jesus, into eternal life. But if they don't want to make the right choices to get there, then it's a losing battle, right? They're going to be lost. And God ain't going to take no pleasure in dropping people into hell. It's going to be hard for him, but he's got to do it because that was their choice, not his. They decided to make the wrong choices on earth. And that's Candace and Don Wells. They're the ones that decide to make the wrong choices on this earth, not us, them, right? And that is what it is. Yeah, I think Trevor needs to stop sending your Donnie some pics too. That's the truth. Yeah, change must be welcomed. Absolutely. Candace said right up on Miss Daisy's, and I love the way she thinks she can come out here and play her fucking games with us. She sat up there and said, I like to tell everybody what happened, but I can't. And well, that's admitting That's admitting, and she said that on Daisy's. I like to tell everybody what happened, but I can't. That's saying you know what the fuck happened, but you're not going to tell it. There you go. Right? Because she does not follow it up with, I mean, I can understand if you say, I like to tell you what happened, but I can't because I don't know myself. She don't follow it up with, I don't know myself. She says, I like to tell you what happened, but I can't. Right? And that's where it stops. Now, when it stops there, that means, I like to tell you what happened, but I can't because, there's a reason I can't because someone's keeping me from doing it. Or I'm afraid to do it. Or, I might incriminate my own ass. I'm not going to do it, right? But what it means is, you just don't want to tell it. There you go. And that is exactly what she's been saying, right? And just like Donald, Donald says Summer's not ever going to be found. Not ever. Right? And he ain't going to go on Dr. Phil's or not Dr. Phil's, but Steve Wilkos and get a chair thrown at his head, right? He's not going to do that. Absolutely not. And I'm sure that's what he would get too. I'm sure that's what he would get. So, exactly. If you ask me, I think that, I think Candace got too much attention as a child. I truly believe that Candace got way more attention. Actually, she didn't have to do anything. Like Candace didn't have to do nothing. Right? She always had everybody doing everything for her. That's why they moved from one state to another to get her, special medical treatment and all the good things. And, and she didn't ever have to do anything. And when you raise somebody like that, they're mean as hell. They don't know what it's like. I don't think Candace became selfish and self-centered because mommy and daddy kind of wrapped everybody else. Candace was in the center of it all. Everybody else had to move because of Candace. Candace didn't have to do anything because of medical issues and stuff like that. So, everybody around her was doing everything while she was doing nothing, and she loved it. She loved being the center of all of that. Right? To the point that, she couldn't care about no one but herself. If you ask me, she was a spoiled fucking brat. She was a spoiled ass brat that, everything was about her and nobody else. And she just, she just got to where if you ain't going to make it all about me, F you. right? It's F you. And she has some real mental issues. If you ask me, Candace has a lot of mental issues. And she ain't the first person that, she ain't the first person I've seen, like this. Absolutely not. I have seen a lot of people where, everything is centered around them, and they're just lazy as fucking hell, and they think that, they're entitled for everyone to wait on them, everyone to do for them, and if you ain't going to do that, then they don't want to be there, right? They're always looking for some sucker to do everything for them. And, and that's Candace Wells. Hello, D-Hex. How you doing tonight, hon? How you doing, Redwood Homestead? God bless. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, if anybody expects PG to be kissing up to any fucking whales or become a bootlicker, they got me bent. Right? That ain't happening. That is not happening. Over here, we are for the victims. We are for the victims. And we are against the suspects. Until they clear themselves, they could kiss our ass. Right? Lick my fucking boot. There you go. I have no mercy on people that ain't willing to go and clear themselves. Don Wells could have cleared himself. All he had to do was take that ass, right? He just needed to take that ass and go on Steve Wilkos. But, he didn't, right? He didn't. And now he's saying, oh, if you come up here on my property and anybody come up here and try to search, you're going to get the law called on you. You're going to go to jail. I think the law should hear that and come up there and search their damn selves. Because you know what, Don? You must be hiding something you don't want no one to find on there. If you're threatening them about coming up there, right? So law enforcement might need to come up there and find what the hell you don't want anyone else finding and threatening them with the law to keep them from finding it. Right? So what the hell's up there? What's up there that you're hiding? I'm going to tell you something. I don't think there's a damn thing on your property, Don Wells. I do not think anything's on your property. Because personally, I don't think you're that fucking stupid. To be honest with you. I really don't think you're that fucking stupid. I might be giving you extra credit, but I don't think you are. I really don't think you are that stupid. Especially when you didn't go to work for a few weeks saying that, using all kinds of different excuses. And when you did, the place smelled like freaking death. Right? So, with that being said, I don't think what the law enforcement's really looking for is on your property. Now, they might should go look in those properties where you were working. That might be where they want to look. Because you're so sure she ain't going to be found, probably until them houses are knocked down, and you think maybe not even then. Or the cement's busted up. So that's personally where I would be looking. But, I can't tell law enforcement what to go do. I can suggest it. And I have. But your property, that's just bullshit. And nobody wants to. Who in the hell wants to come up there? I mean, your children went off of there with freaking lice and scabies and Infantago, and God even knows what else, right? I mean, everything known to man, and I personally just don't like dollar store fucking pizzas, right? Uh, I get a pizza, I want to make sure it's a real fucking pizza, right? I like a pizza, if I'm going to have pizza, I like to get it from the pizza shop, or at least get it from a real fucking grocery store, a real pizzas that you can add extra toppings and stuff to, bake it up, and you know actually make a salad on the side and have a real meal. um I ain't trying to do no fucking frisbee ass dollar pizza, right? I mean, I ain't trying to lose that kind of fucking weight, right? Hell no. You know actually, Ben Hill Road probably would be one hell of a weight loss um center if you didn't go off the hill, right? Don and Candace would have you up there feeding you a fucking flying saucer pizza, one a day, from the dollar store, right? They just have a big freezer full of dollar store pizzas, and you get one a day. They'll microwave it, fly it across the room, hit you right in the mouth with it, right? That's your meal for the whole day. Drink some water, be happy, go to fuck to bed, kind of thing. Well, they're slobbing down meals at the closest restaurants, and making sure they get theirs, right? They'll make sure they get theirs. But you go up there weighing 500 pounds and walk off looking like a skeleton. Best weight loss program in the world, right? We've seen it with our own eyes. 4 children, 4 kids, we've seen with our own eyes, right? Only one looked like it was half fed decently. That was the older boy. One looked like it had been fed halfway decently. But the other 3, my God. Right? Yeah. These mother freakers, they are guilty. They are guilty. And let me tell you something. Why I say they are guilty. They are guilty of neglect, right? Neglect, child endangerment, child neglect. They are guilty for years of it. Not a days or hours, but years of child abuse, child neglect, child endangerment. Years of it. They were getting reported for years up there on that hill for not feeding their children, for not taking care of their children. Them kids went to school every single day because why? Why? They had perfect attendance due to the simple fact that, that's the only place they could get breakfast, lunch, and then their dollar store pizza for dinner. That's the only place they probably got, some milk. And poor Summer was getting none of that, and neither was the other children during the summer when school was out, right? When school was out, everybody in that place lost weight, except Candace and Donald. Don and Candace didn't lose no weight. How Donald stopped every day and got himself some eggs and potatoes and bacon and, coffee, and knew his children are sitting at home with not fucking shit, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. A cocksucker that can do that has no feelings for his family. Don't tell me he cares when he can sit down and eat a big fucking breakfast like that and not make sure his children are eating breakfast as well, right? Not even a box of fucking cereal. He takes the whole jug of milk to work with him. He takes the whole jug of milk to work with him instead of leaving it home for the children. There you go. That is Don Wells, right? And Candace has money to stop and get the kids some breakfast sandwiches, right? She has money to stop and get the kids breakfast sandwiches. She could have took all 4 of the kids that morning, got them breakfast sandwiches, got them something to eat, stopped and got them, some hamburgers at in the afternoon if it was going to take that long. But no, she stops at the smoke shop and gets, vapes, twisted tea, all this shit. And this baby sitting in the back seat and hasn't even had a glass of orange juice. She's had nothing. And you want to sit there and tell me about how, Candace, you're a good mother. I know you love your children. Burr. Fuck no. No. Absolutely not. Bullshit. How someone could even sit there and lie before God saying that, I would be worried about my soul, right? I'd be worried about my soul. They ain't no amount of click, likes, and views worth that one. Sit there and tell a big ass lie like that. I mean, how dare you? How dare you sit there and tell lies like that? How dare you sit there and tell this woman, that she's a damn good mother when she done lost 2 fucking children and just lost 4 more. 1 missing and 3 in child protective services that she fucking hasn't done a damn thing to get back. And the other one she ain't done a damn thing to find. And you're going to sit there and have the audacity to fucking say this is a good mother? Are you shitting me? And you think that everybody out here is going to be spoon-fed that shit? Don't even go there. Don't even try to underestimate my freaking intelligence level, right? Who the hell are you to try to underestimate my intelligence levels by telling me that skank is a good mother? You out of your fucking mind. I don't know about some people in this world. They just don't click, right? Something in their head don't work right. I mean, there is no way in hell you're going to sit there and be able to say that and not know you're a big fucking liar. You are lying through your damn teeth. And then you expect everyone in your chat to believe that shit. Not today. Not today. Save the bees. I appreciate that. Save our bees. Become a YouTube member. God bless. Amen. I so appreciate you supporting this channel, hon. Absolutely. Summer's channel. God bless. But yeah. I'm going to tell you something. When you get any, I don't know about some men, but I know that, I know that my dad, made sure there was food in the refrigerator for my mother to feed us children. He made sure that there was food in our home all the time. And also, my husband, up until he passed away, always made sure that, he always made sure that I had, plenty of food in the house for the children as well. So I don't know about that. I mean, my dad had a joint bank account with my mother where she could go and buy whatever she needed for the household. And I had a joint bank account with my husband where, I could go buy whatever we needed for the household as well. I mean, if the refrigerator started to look empty, it's usually the husband that says, "Hey, honey, you need to get to the grocery store. This refrigerator's getting empty." Because men like to eat too, right? They like to eat as well. And I think Don Wells knew, I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give Don Wells that. Because I know it says, "I don't know about any of you. I fed my kids while my husband was at work. My husband never had to inquire whether they ate either. Most men think you feed the kids." Well, your husband knew there was food in the house to feed them kids, and he assumed you fed them. Candace and Don Wells was a different household. They had no food. The kids had no food to get for themselves. Now, do you think Donald didn't notice that he takes the jug of milk every damn day to work. So if he's taking a whole jug of milk out of that refrigerator, he knows whether there's any food in it or not. And that was a not. I mean, there was no food there for the children to get to eat. Right? I mean, look at the picture with Allie. And who let someone come in on their dinner table and pick fleas off of a dog? Who let you lay a dog on their table and pick bugs off of it in their kitchen? I would have a fit. I would have a fit if you carried a hairbrush into my kitchen. You're going to get that ass the hell out of there. You're going to turn that ass around and get that hairbrush, yourself and that hairbrush, out of my kitchen. Let alone picking any bugs around there. I mean, no. Absolutely not. Right? I mean, when I go to cook, I pull my hair back and put it in a scrunchie. Right? If my daughter wants to help me in the kitchen, she's got to pull her hair back. I mean, I'm not going to, no. And you got to have a clean kitchen all the time. It is what it is. Come on, Prayer Garden, your intelligence level isn't that good, and you should know that. I think my intelligence level is a hell of a lot higher than yours. You know what? Let me put a link out, and won't you come up and tell me about my intelligence level? Let's hear your mouth and how intelligent you are there, hon. Right? Because you a bootlicker. You're over here from where they lick the boots. Right? You're over here from where they lick boots. I dropped you a link. Pick it up. Pick it up there. And bring that ass up on the panel. Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Right? You want to sit in the chat there and run your freaking mud flap, but you don't want to come up on panel. You know, you're the exact piece of shit that I'm talking about. You know what? You can go back over there and lick those boots. There you go. Your ass is blocked, bitch. You won't ever get out either. Once you're gonna learn what it's like to, you know, be in hell for eternity. Because that's where you'll be in the block list for me. You'll be there for eternity. Garden grower. Go fucking put that in your garden, right? With the rest of your smells and snails, right? We don't let bootlickers over here. Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. You're always going to have those people that, you know, those suck ass mother freakers that, you know, I mean, if you're for the whales, no, I'm afraid it's your intelligent level that needs to, you know, some work. It needs some work. Maybe you want to work on that. Try to bring it up a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to prove my point tonight. I'm going to prove my point about the whales. We're going to listen. We're going to listen to one of the neighbors that's seen Candace Wells. They seen Candace Wells at 3:45 on the 15th, 2021, when Summer came up missing. We watch your channel and appreciate you covering the Summer Wells case. We live on Light Hollow Road. Candace was seen driving down the road around 3:45 on June 15th in a truck. TBI knows this information and has interviewed neighbors here. Our road goes to a dead end in the back. We hope and pray Summer is found soon. That evil monster Candace belongs in prison. Well, writer Jason, I can't agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more.
Way I didn't see no cars, I didn't see nobody at all, and I was like flipping out.
Let's go back and hear Candace from the beginning.
I wasn't just gonna stand there and wait for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road which way. I didn't see no.
She wasn't going to wait. She wasn't going to wait for law enforcement. She called law enforcement. She wasn't going to wait. So she jumped. Well, Candace, you didn't call law enforcement, hon, until 6:30. You or Donald, neither one called law enforcement till 6:30. You were seen at 3:45. So you must have jumped in your fucking vehicle and didn't wait at 3:45 to go somewhere, right? You had that ass out on the road at 3:45 in a truck on Light Hollow Road, right? 3:45, folks, not 6:30. But she wants to talk about 6:30, and law enforcement told her she came out of that driveway twice, right? Twice, and that proves it. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, and she came out at 3:45.
No cars. I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a
Yeah, I bet you was flipping out with what you was packing, right? At 3:45. I bet you was a hot fucking mess.
hot mess, so you call it. Okay. It makes no sense.
Oh, it's about to make plenty of sense here. Right here's the road. Right here. Light Hollow Road. As you see, plenty of room right here. Nobody. Plenty of woods. Plenty of wooded area to either stash something, right? Either to stash something you don't want no one to find, or to maybe meet up with someone, hoping you won't be seen, right? You might meet up with someone in an area like this, right? To make a deal. Or you might use this as an area to, like I said, to stash something you don't want to be found. One or the other. Now I'm thinking it's to stash something they don't want to be found, right? That's what I'm thinking. But there you go. As you see, plenty of places to hide. To hide somebody, cover them up. There you go. Now, this is the Wells house, 110 Ben Hill Road. Where the red dot is, that is Light Hollow Road. Right here. As you can see, this is the way she traveled from her home down. This is, we are on Ben Hill Road right now. And as you see, most of the places are a lot of homes and eyeballs, so she ain't going to be able to get much done down through there. That's for sure. But as we go on down through here, as we go on down through Ben Hill Road, she's passing a lot of homes. See, there's no way she can pull over. She'd definitely be seen if she would have pulled over anywhere on Ben Hill. But once you get to Light Hollow Road, now you're, getting into all of this wooded area, right? You're getting into wooded area down through there. And right here is where Light Hollow Road ends. But if we go back here, as you see, all of this is where, you could actually stash someone back in that area right in here. Absolutely. And the funniest thing about all of this is, the funny thing about all of this is the fact that, let's bring this guy into it.
Let me tell you a strange story that no one knows. The day that Summer Wells went missing, my wife messaged Candace Wells on Facebook asking her if there's anything that they needed. Pretty common question. I'm not sure in that situation if there'd be such a thing as a common answer. But the response was a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. I found that odd. Second strange encounter that we had around when Summer went missing, Don Wells had came down.
And Candace drinks Mountain Dew. This man would not know. I mean, why would he? For one, he has no reason to lie. But two, he knowed exactly what she drank, her favorite beverage, right? Besides her bottle of liquors. So there you go.
Down to my home. I wasn't there yet, but a few of the guys that I work with and my wife were there, and he spoke with them the very next day. And they tell me that his whole conversation was around her being in a better place, her being in a better place, her being in a better place.
Exactly. I mean, the baby, he was saying that the very night she disappeared, right? The very night she disappeared, he was talking about, we'll see her in the resurrection, right? So, that tells us that, he knew she was no longer with us. He knew she wasn't in that woods, right? He knew the searchers were wasting their time, that she wasn't out in the woods. Because, why? Because they knew where she was. If you can tell somewhere where someone is not, then you obviously know where they are. That's just common sense. And then he tells everybody she's in the resurrection. We'll see her. There you go. I mean, now he's telling you, that she's no longer with us. Right? Candace is seen at 3:45 on that road. Right? At 3:45, she's seen on that particular road. Let's go on and listen to what this man has to say about a road.
And they found that odd. Now, once again, we don't know how we'd act in a situation. I'm just giving you some points, giving you some information that I have that no one else has. You can take that for what it's worth, make your own opinions, read into it, don't read into it, whatever. But these are things that we know because of being near the area from local law enforcement, things like that. Number 3 is 2 or 3 nights later on a rainy night, there's some country roads back through that way, and you can, there's a back road that you take that comes out there in Kingsport, and it's a traveled road, but it's not traveled a great deal. And Don and Candace were seen it's about 1.5 miles from their house, pulled over on the side of the road, very, very, very country road. Don was behind the wheel. Candace was out, and she was coming out of the wooded area. Now, you had to use the bathroom. I think she probably could have waited to get home. Maybe not. But that was strange, that they were off in a secluded area, at dark, while it's raining, and Candace Wells was seen coming out of the woods about 1.5 miles away from their home.
1.5 miles away from their home. That's about the distance Light Road is from their home. So, is it possible that, and it did rain. It did rain on the 21st. The 21st, which was 6-7 days after Summer came up missing. Exactly, to the T. She came up missing on the 15th. The 21st, it was a rainy night. Rainy night on the 21st. And that would have been about the time that, law enforcement wasn't sitting up there with a cruiser at their house, diligently sitting up there. That would have been right about the time that, actually, it would have probably been one of the first nights that law enforcement wouldn't have been there to watch them. So it seems like they jumped in their vehicle and went to make a move, right? And, she went back in there, now was she checking to make sure that whatever she stashed was still there? Or was she coming out of there, with whatever she stashed? Because, they didn't see if she was packing anything. They don't know if or if Dawn had been out of the truck and maybe she was, back there straightening things out so it didn't look like anyone had been back there, right? And they done got what they came for. So we don't know. We don't know what all went down, but we do know that she was in a wooded area at 3:45, seen in that wooded area at 3:45 on the day Summer came up missing, and they were seen again in a dark wooded area after dark in the rain coming out of a wooded area. So we got proof, people seeing them on the 15th when Summer came up missing, and people seeing them around the 21st on that rainy, dark ass night. About the time law enforcement was, no longer watching them diligently. There you go. So, you tell me. You tell me if it ain't adding up that, I personally, it's my opinion that they went and stashed Summer there. And on the 15th, and they went back to 21st and went into that wooded area to move her, right? To move her to another location. And that, very well could have been, what was going on there. I mean, from my understandings, law enforcement felt that she was still in the area, even months later, right? They felt that she was somewhere not alive, but still in the area. And they, and their main suspects are Dawn and Candace Wells. They are not clearing them, but basically, letting everyone know, like Ronnie Lawson said, there is no signs of abduction, meaning we don't believe it. We believe something, but that ain't it. And Ronnie Lawson said they are not cooperating. They have lawyered up because they hadn't been cooperating from day one. They didn't ever cooperate. And then when Dawn's getting ready to go to jail and they're bugging Candace, they get lawyered up. Because the last thing Dawn wants is Candace being drilled and breaking down and running her mouth. And he doesn't ever get out of jail, right? So that's pretty much, I mean, when he got those lawyers, he wasn't just protecting himself. He was, or just protecting Candace. He was protecting his own ass as well. Right? There you go. He does. Every time he speaks of Summer, it's like he diligently knows that she is no longer with us. Just like he diligently let us know that she was not in that wooded area. And, when you're that diligent on everything, then you hold all the answers to what did happen. Right? And it makes me want to freaking puke when I hear people sitting and coddling these people and talking about how, they're so sorry and they think they're innocent and okay, well, it's easier, I would rather be kind to someone and, even if they're guilty, be kind to them and find out, they're guilty than to you know, be against them and find out they're innocent. I don't think you're ever going to have to worry about that one, right? I do not believe you will ever have to worry about that one. You know, that's in my opinion, and I am damn entitled to it. I think the Wells are guilty as hell. Now, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, right? I am allowed to have my opinion. You know, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. If they know everywhere their daughter isn't, then they must know where their daughter is. If they're constantly telling you that she's no longer with us, then she's probably not. Right? Because they already know where she is, so they obviously know that as well. And they're letting everyone know, you know, they're telling you over and over and over again. But some people just don't want to listen, right? They don't want to listen. And, you know, I'm not going to coddle no fucking suspects. You know why? Because I love this little girl. I love this little girl. And I want her to be found. I want her to be found. If she's no longer with us, like they are saying she isn't, then I want this little girl found, and I want her laid to rest. For her sake, and for her brother's sake, and for all of our sake. Everyone needs closure, and this baby needs to rest in peace. Right? And that's why we, you know, why we do true crime out here. Is why we do this. We do this because we love the victims, right? We are their voice. They have no voice, and we are their voice. And we care about them. And we stand 150% behind the victims, no one else. And I think that, you know, I think that that gains a lot of respect from God, from others, and from within yourself. Because that's what we're supposed to be for. That's how this works. Summer can't come on here and talk to us. Summer can't pop up on here and talk to us because she is no longer with us to come up here and talk. We are Summer's voice. And through us, Summer is talking, right? Through us, Summer is saying, please find me. Please help me. Please bring me home. Please give my brothers closure. Please let them know this had nothing to do with them. And you can do that by finding me. We are her voice. And I will not turn on Summer. I will not forsake this child and go coddle and take up for people that I truly in my heart believe are guilty as fucking hell. I can't do it, and I won't do it. Ever. Exactly, Wolf Angel. It's not their fault at all. It is the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And that is so true, Blessed. No summer, no peace. Where's your little girl, Candace? Absolutely. Where is she? You know, you keep telling us how you like to tell us, but you can't. And you don't go on to say, because you don't know. You just stop at, I can't. Right? And that means, I know, but I'm not going to tell it. We've been in this world long enough to know when someone talks what the hell it means. But you got a whole lot of bootlickers. A whole lot of bootlickers on other channels taking up for these sickos. Right? Coddling them. Oh, I think they're innocent. You need to think again. Right? You need to think again. God is watching. God is watching. God knows the truth in each and every one of our hearts. God knows exactly how each and every one of us feel and we think about this case. And I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if you say, you know, this woman's a good mother. Deep down, you know you're a liar. This man's a good dad. Deep down, you know you're a liar. This grandma's a good grandma. You know you're a damn liar. And God knows you're a liar too. We all know that Candace, Grandis, and Donald sat up there and were some nasty, foul people bringing strangers around them children, half-ass feeding them kids, half-ass taking care of them children, letting them children sleep in dirty, nasty, disgusting beds. Disgusting. Packing around lice, scabies. I mean, I seen a picture where one of their foots looked like it's about ready to be ate off. That is nasty. There is no reason for that. None. And you tell me they love their kids? They love their kids? No. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. That's bullshit. You know, don't try to pull the wool over my eyes. Because yours, you know, you got it on yours. Or you just want it to be on mine to accommodate your fucking bullshit. Right? And I think that's more what it is. I think that these people saying this stuff, I think their eyes are fully open to the truth. But they're trying to pull wool over our eyes to accommodate their bullshit. Well, it ain't happening here. And I will not go to no channel that supports Don and Candace Wells. I will not be seen on a fucking channel like that. You can take that to the bank. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a lot. I have, you know, I don't get along with some of the other creators that well, right? Don B being one of them. Don B being one of them. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've got more respect for that man than I have some others. Because at least he ain't a fucking bootlicker. He's sticking 100% behind Little Summer. Right? He ain't about to lick no boots. I have to respect that. I really do. And I didn't ever think I'd be saying this, but I am. At least a man has some common damn sense. Man, I seen the biggest shit shows going on today of my life. Right? I hear this title has not got summer in it. This is not about summer. But yet Candace is up on the panel. Right? Getting pampered. Getting worried about. Oh, there's a storm out there. Candace, you better take shelter. No, Candace, go out there and stand in the middle of the fucking yard, hon. Go stand in the middle of the fucking yard. And ask me if I give a damn. Because I don't. I am not going to give someone mercy that does not have mercy for their own children. Right? One baby missing. 3 babies in Child Protective Services for 20 months. One baby missing. Damn near 21 months now. And they haven't done a damn thing. Not a damn thing for those children at all. All they've done is everything for their damn selves. And then they want to come back out here and get supported. For what? For fucking doing not a damn thing for their missing child or the 3 that's in Child Protective Services, and they're going to get that pity party? You got me bent. You got me bent. You won't see me on any fucking channels like that. Absolutely not. I think, some people need to grow a brain. I really do. I mean, don't tell me that you think someone's guilty as fucking hell for damn near 2 years, and then all of a sudden, bam. The great bang. The great bang. And a whole new way of thinking revolves. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't believe in the great bangs, right? I believe in God Almighty. I believe in the truth. And you ain't going to tell me that you think someone's guilty as fucking hell for damn near 2 years, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you changed your mind. Right. Okay. Bullshit. Pure bullshit. Pure bullshit. I call it like I see it. Right? And it makes me sick. It makes me sick to see people in that chat. We love you, Candace. Take care of yourself, Candace. Be good, Candace. Be safe, Candace. Right? Now, I got something to say to you, Candace. Fuck you, Candace. That's what I got to say. Fuck you. Where's your daughter? Where is your daughter? You're able to tell us that she ain't in the woods along with your old man and grandma. So you must know where she's at. You told us yourself that, the boys were still here and alive, and you have to do you and your boys, and Summer always be with you. And that statement right there, like Don Wells, we'll see her in the resurrection. You let us know your daughter's no longer with us, right? That's what you let us know. And in order for you to know that, you got to know what happened. You can't give people all this information. And then you sit there and say, it doesn't matter what you say to YouTubers. It just matters what you say to law enforcement. Bitch, you ain't saying nothing to them either, because they are actually wanting to know where, what happened in that 3 hours from 3:30 to 6:30. You can't tell them, let alone us. You avoid that fucking timeline, like everybody was avoiding the big C word, right? Now, I understand why everybody was avoiding that, because, that was a bad virus that could destroy you. But Candace, you are avoiding that timeline and talking about that timeline the same way. So obviously you're scared, right? And if you're scared, you obviously are guilty. There you go. There you go. Because whenever you're avoiding something and you're scared, you implicate yourself into it, right? And just like the big C word, everybody got implicated into it, right? We all did. We had to wear masks. Well, Candace is wearing a mask. Why? Why? On that timeline. Because why? Because she feels that's the only thing protecting her. And she don't want to talk about it or fuck it up, because that could put her in prison. And if you don't think that's a sign of fucking guilt right there, I don't know what the hell is. And law enforcement knows it as well, right? Law enforcement knows it as well. Hey, Judy, I appreciate that, hon. Super sticker. Yes, absolutely. I appreciate your support for Summer's channel. God bless. God bless. But yes, absolutely. That's the truth. It's everyday common sense. Everyday common sense. And I just showed everybody. They were out in wooded areas, right? They was out in the woods twice. Once on the 15th, once on the 21st. The rainy ass night. The 21st, it rained. It was dark and it was rainy. And they were back out in that wooded area. So why would they be in a wooded area on the 15th, the day Summer came up missing, and then again on a dark ass rainy night? That tells us Summer's no longer with us. That tells us that these fuckers obviously done something, right? That's what it tells us. Or it tells us that's exactly what they want us to believe. But I'm sure whatever happened, they know. Because I'm about to put some more stuff here on for y'all. Here we go.
I already knew, and I already knew that she was put into a car and taken from here.
Yeah.
I knew that from day one. I knew that from the second that it happened. But trying to explain that to the police is like trying to talk to a brick wall.
I remember.
How would you know from the second it happened? You said you knew from the second it happened. How would you know from the second it happened if it didn't happen? Now, put her into a car. He knew she was put into a car. Now, he made another slip of the lip one time and said she put her in her car. Remember that? She put her in her car, he said one time. Everybody heard it. Everybody knew about it. And now he's saying he knew. He knew from the very second that she was put in a car. Now, he didn't say, I knew from the second I heard she was missing, this happened. He said, I knew from the very second that she was put into a car. That's a big difference. That's a big difference right there.
You told me that you had the weird feeling. You want to explain to like the people listening about that weird feeling you had
I will.
beforehand?
It's not a weird feeling. It's when the angel tells you that something is going to happen to your kid or your daughter, which is what happened to me, and I couldn't explain it, and I didn't understand at the time. But I knew 4 to 5 months prior that something was going to happen this summer because an angel told me, and not with words. But you can take it for what you want. You can say that if you want to, y'all can just say that I'm crazy, or you can all can say that I'm just making up a story.
No, I don't
you
think
can
it's crazy at
no,
all.
not you, Dolly. I'm just saying your audience
Yeah.
can say whatever they want about me.
I didn't know it.
But not you, sir. But 4 to 5 months prior, something told me that something was going to be happening this summer. And I knew something was going to happen. And I asked Candace to please keep a sharp eye on her because something was going to happen.
Now, this part of the story he had told many times. Remember when he was on Shares, he was on Benny's. I've heard him tell that part of the story many times. And you can almost believe that, I mean, people do get warnings, and you could believe something like this. You could believe something like this, but, and there is a but, right? But he fucked up. Because now he comes back, and let's listen to what he has to say now. Because this is something he didn't ever say up until 20 months later. He tells a new part of the story that he didn't ever tell it before. This first part you heard about the 5 some months before he had this warning, or we heard that. But this part we didn't ever hear before that we're about to hear, and that changes the game.
And then that picture that y'all might see on the internet or whatever, where I was holding her when she was sleeping, and I knew something told me at that moment that the time was short at hand, that whatever was going to happen, it was going to happen soon. And this is probably a week or two prior to her disappearance. And I was crying.
Now, a week or two prior to her disappearance. Now, Dudley says right around that time, he seen Donald walking around like he lost his best friend right before Summer came up missing. Dudley said Donald was at work moving around like he had lost his best friend. And Dudley didn't ever hear this part that Donald's about to say because Donald hadn't ever said it. And Donald hasn't ever said this. Why? Because he was afraid to say why he was. This picture has been out here a lot. This picture we've seen a lot. But he didn't ever once say why he was, he didn't ever say he was crying in it. He didn't ever mention this before at all. Over 20 months. Right? Because he was afraid early on that law enforcement was going to know. They was going to put 2 and 2 together and get their 4 on this one. But listen to what he slips up here and has to say.
And I knew that, and I said, Lord God, please. She was asleep in my arms, and I was like, Summer, I love you. I love you so much. And I just can't believe it. But I knew the time was short.
Uh-huh.
So the day that she disappeared, and then when I come home from work and I drove to the bottom property and I see my neighbors and my boys searching for her, I knew at that instance that what had been
See there? He said what had been intended is what he says tended. But he means intended. There you go. There you go. Then he catched himself, right? He caught himself. That tells me that was premeditated shit right there. Premeditated shit. This baby's laying in the arms of a man she thought that she was safe and protected in. That was her daddy, the one that's supposed to die. He's supposed to die to save her. And she really believes he would, to keep her safe. And that mother freaker right there, as he said, was intended. To me, that is, confession. To me, that was, right there was busted, right? You're busted. You was plotting against that baby right then when it was in your arms. You already had something in mind that you were going to proceed with that obviously wasn't good. Something you felt that you couldn't back out of. And that baby had no idea. That baby had no idea what a snake was holding her. She had no idea. He said intended. Let's finish and I'll go back and let you hear that again. I'm going to back it up.
searching for her. I knew at that instance, when I come home from work and I drove to the bottom property and I see my neighbors and my boys searching for her, I knew at that instance that what had been
Slip.
Searching for her, I knew at that instance that what had been what was told.
See, he knew he fucked up now.
To me by an angel that I assume was an angel, told me that it had been fulfilled.
Oh yeah. That's why you passed up them 2 cops and went right down there, because your fucking ass. You knew what you did. Your ass was sweating. You didn't want it. You couldn't talk to them cops right then, because you freaking, when you pulled up and seen them cops, you went right past them and down that hill, because you didn't know what the hell to do. You knew you were guilty as fuck right then and there, right? And needed to collect your ass back together. So you went right on past them and down in there like, you was worried about your boys or something. No. What you were worried about is them cops seeing how bad you were sweating when your ass, you needed to pull it together. That's what you needed to do, Don Wells. We all been there, right? We've all been there where we had to pull our shit together. You come in late and your freaking parents are going to pop out on you. So you try as fast as you can to get on through the house somewhere where you feel more safer, right? I mean, yeah, that's what he was doing. He was getting his ass on down that hill where he feel a little more safer, so that they couldn't see all the guilt and everything in them. Exactly. Like a damn teenager coming in at midnight instead of 10 o'clock when they were supposed to, right? You know that parent's going to pop out on your ass. That's why you trying to get to your room or get somewhere else quickly and to gather your shit together before you got jumped onto. So there you go. Don Wells messed up. What can I say? Pet mom. I support Summer, not her predators. Wells are guilty as hell, in my opinion. Thank you, PG. God bless. God bless. That's exactly how I feel as well. You know, that's exactly how I feel, and I can't sit around and I'm not going to sit here and condone people, bootlicking the Wells boots, right? I'm not going to sit here and condone that. I can't, because I am 150% for Summer. This case is about Summer, not the fucking Wells. It's about Summer. The only part of this about the Wells is the fact that, they haven't been cleared and law enforcement is kicking in their doors. Law enforcement's constantly questioning them. Law enforcement says no signs of abduction. Law enforcement says that, pretty much law enforcement, if you ask me, has been saying, they're not cooperating. They're guilty as fucking hell, but they ain't allowed to just come out and say that, right? We know they're guilty as hell, but we ain't got enough to, to prosecute the fucking shit out of them and put them in prison for what they've done yet. But, and in the meantime, though, everybody, give them pity parties, kiss their fucking ass and make sure you send them plenty of money to be able to keep doing all the substance they've been doing. And the very reason that, the very reason that their kids weren't eating, the very reason the kids weren't getting medical care, the very reason that, that the kids went through pure fucking hell the whole time they was with them two human beings, that, actually, I don't even know if they're humans at this point. But whatever the fuck they are, those children were stuck there. And, and let's all keep supporting their habits. Let's not support Summer. Let's not support the boys that are in child protective services that they ain't doing anything to get back. Let's support them. So, they can stay hate up and sniggering and laughing and thinking they're gotten away with something here. Right? Let's support them. So they can sit back and laugh and bond together that everybody out here are a bunch of fucking idiots. That they can't even believe that you are supporting that shit. Right? Let's do that. Just to try to have them on for some click, likes, and views. Click, likes, and views ain't that important to me. They ain't that important to me. When I came in here tonight, I opened my live up. I had one person. One. When I opened my live. I seen it as soon as I walked in. Sue Larson. And you know what? Me and her was going to hang out. Anybody else show up or not, we was going to hang out. Chit chat talk. It didn't matter. I don't care if there's 1,000. It ain't about that. It's about Summer Moon Utah Wells. It's about doing what we feel is right for her. And what's right for her is to not support the very people that wasn't supporting her from day one. And I'm sad to say that was her own fucking parents, but we all know it. We all know it. Everybody sitting in this chat tonight knows I am telling the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me God that these fuckers did nothing for that baby other than to try to deter people from talking about her. Donald would talk, he'd rather talk about his sisters, in that case in Utah, than he did about his daughter. He'd rather talk about, you know, throw it on a yellow car, or throw it on anything, Mr. Dobbs, or throw it on Andy and Jody Sue, throw it on Fred Hill, throw it on anything and anybody to keep the focus off of what? Themselves. And why do they need to focus off of themselves? Could it be because they're the guilty fucks? I wouldn't think you would work that hard to keep the focus off of you unless you were. Right? And they've been working diligently to keep it off of them. Well, Don and Candace Wells, we got it on you now. We got it on you now. And that's where it's going to stay. And I'm sure law enforcement is going to do whatever needs to be done to get that conviction at some point. They are going to actually bring you people to justice. And I know it. So you know what? You enjoy your substance. You enjoy the support from people that, you enjoy that support from the evil fuckers that don't know how to support the victims. That's what you do. You enjoy that. Because when your asses are convicted of this crime, those people that supported you are going to feel like asses, and I don't want to hear their fucking apologies. I do not want to hear their apologies. They let Summer down. And I don't want to hear no apologies at all. I won't accept any. I want them to not ever, I don't want to ever hear Summer's name in those people's mouths again. Period. They have no right to even speak her name when they were that much against her and for these fuckers. Just to get their click, likes, and views. You take that and stick it up your ass. Right? That's how I feel. I think that, I think that Hunter, I think that was just a coincidence. Hunter was just in the wrong place at the right time. And who knows? She could have been setting him up. I don't know. I know they took Hunter's phone, and Candace tried to say that Hunter called her, but Hunter didn't. Yeah, he called her, but she texted him first. Candace Wells texted Hunter first on June the 15th, 2021. And then he called her phone. Now, Candace didn't tell nobody about her texting Hunter. She just wanted to act like Hunter called her out of the blue. That is not what happened at all. She texted him first that day. So she may have been wanting to set him up. I don't know. Candace, but I'm fully sure that whatever happened to Summer, Candace knows, because I'll tell you why. Candace says, I have to do me and the boys. I hate to say this, but I have to set Summer on the side to do me and the boys, because the boys are still alive in here, right? And Summer always be with me. That's what came out of her mouth. to everyone out here. Right? That's what came out of her mouth. Not ours, but hers. So she let you know right there that, you know, she knew. Don and Candace's worst enemy is their own mouth. Right? That's how most people get caught by the law. They tell on themselves. And I don't know why the law ain't arrested them, because they told on themselves in so many different fucking ways. You know, I don't know how many more ways they'd be able to tell on themselves. And I don't know what the holdup is, right? I don't know. Because I can guarantee you, if it was anybody else that did this, your ass would already be behind bars. Your ass would already be sitting in jail. If you'd have said just half of what these people's been saying. I mean, if you'd have said the stuff that Jody Sue said, your ass would be in jail. You wouldn't be running around. You'd be in jail. Right? I mean, obviously, Tennessee law works different than all of law enforcement in every other place, right? Or every other county. I mean, there is counties in Tennessee that if you said that shit, you'd definitely be sitting in a jail cell, right? And at the least, the very least, your ass would be sitting in an interrogation room for hours and hours and hours after saying that shit. And you better have a damn attorney, because if you don't, your probably next stop is jail. So how these people's getting away with all of this bullshit, I don't know. I don't know. You know? But I pray that God gives Ronnie Lawson and Mr. Prune Pruitt the common sense and the wisdom to understand what these people are saying and to get back on their asses for answers to find this baby. Or at least prosecute them. Don Wells slipped up there and said what was intended. What was intended to happen had been carried through. And he knew he fucked up when he said it, and he tried to change it. He tried to change it. We all heard it. We have witnesses that seen them in the woods, right? Witnesses that saw them in the wooded area June 15th at 3:45. We have another witness, seen them coming out of the woods.
Thing was, you know, you've seen pictures of how high, you know, the mountain, you know, the hill going up to their house or whatever. Now, at the bottom of the hill, there's like a field. Now, that field's always grown up. But about a week or less before Summer Wells went missing, Don Wells mowed that down. I mean, I say mowed, hacked it down, because it's about chest high with a mower. That's the first and only time that field has ever been mowed. That field sits at the base of that very hill that he come out and said that he feels like someone took her down the hill and then it had to went through that field and off to wherever.
Now, you heard Don say in the other video he's crying, that he was crying a week and a half before she went missing. About the time he mowed that field down. Now, was there a reason? Was, you know, did something happen in that tall grass that ended up being the reason for Summer's demise, the reason that they felt they had to do whatever was done. We don't know. We don't know if the damn grass had anything to do with it or not. That's what I'm saying. But it's weird that it was cut about the same time he's crying. And the same time he's walking around work looking like he lost his best friend. Was he thinking of, did something happen in the grass that caused them to feel they had to do something with this little girl that none of us want to think about? Or maybe did he cut it down to try to back out of something that, he done got himself into? Maybe he was going to try to sell the land down below so that whatever he was crying about that was about to go down a week later, a week and a half later, he wouldn't have had to done. But he decided that, his land was more important to him. I don't know. I don't have the answers to none of this. But I do think that all of it, all of this is suspicious. I think it all has something, factors into whatever happened to Summer. That's what I believe. That's my personal opinion. That's definitely my personal opinion. So I don't know. Karen, I appreciate that, sweetheart. Yes. PG, where you've got to start to help Summer is looking at what their movements and behavior was before she went missing. Talking about the day she went missing will not give you answers. I think talking about the day she went missing, hon, will give us answers, because when someone's seen Candace the very day she came up missing in this wooded area right here, right on Light Road, which I showed everybody, you could definitely stash someone there, or that would be a good place off the road to meet up with someone if you're making a deal. So that was very important. And also what was very important is the fact that Don admits he's crying a week and a half before she comes up missing. Dudley says he was acting the same way at work a week or so before she came up missing. This man says that, 6 days that, the first rainy, dark, wet, rainy night was on the 21st, and they were seen parked in a wooded area, just like the wooded area she was seen in. When she came up, where Candace was seen on the 15th at 3:45, they happened to be there, a week later, running out of the wooded area. Right? So I think, I personally think that, we cracked the case, if you ask me. Now, law enforcement's got to, it's up to law enforcement to, carry it out. But I think that, I think the Wells' own tongues have pretty much implicated them into being the guilty parties, right? We didn't do it. They did it themselves. All we did is listen All we did is put the pieces together. And from what it sounds like to me, it was intended. You know, what had been intended, he said, while he, slip of his lip. And then he said, oh, what was, 10. And then he's like, the angel, he tried to pull out of it, but it was too late. It was done caught. So he kind of fucked himself. And if you took note, he ain't been back out here on YouTube since, right? He hasn't been back out here. And if there's a gag order on Don Wells, there's a gag order on Candace's mouth too. If Don Wells ain't allowed on YouTube, then Candace ain't as well. But Candace is out here, right? We seen her today. We seen her today, right? So that tells me there's no gag order. That tells me they didn't go to court to be told not to be on YouTube or anywhere else. This is America. You have the freedom to be wherever you damn well want to be. You have a right to say whatever you damn well want to say. It is what it is. This is America. And they like to play their little gag order games and, no. What you went to court for, Don Wells, was your daughter's reward fund that you let go. Because you really didn't ever want it before. And that gives people out here, you feel it gives people out here an initiative to dig harder and deeper to get the answers to what happened to Summer. And you don't want that. But I got news for you, Don Wells. There are people out here that don't give a fuck about that money. These people love that little girl. They care about that little girl. And they're going to all fight like hell to help find this little girl, bring her home, and get justice for her. Whether there is money or no money. Actually, I don't think they would even want the money. They just want Summer found. They want her brought home. And they want her laid to rest. What they really want, Don Wells, is closure and justice for Summer. And they're going to fight until they get it. I know I am. I know law enforcement is. Ronnie Lawson said this case will not run cold, that he will solve it. And I believe him. I believe him. It's damn near 2 years and it ain't ran cold. It ain't ran cold. Ronnie has held to his word up to now. And I truly believe he is diligently going to solve this case. And at some point he will. So with that being said, if I was the Wells, what I would do is put some silver bracelets around my wrist and get used to wearing them, right? I'd be working on getting used to wearing them. But, I think that, I brought it to the table. I lined it up as good as I can line it up. You heard there is witnesses that seen Candace the 15th at 3:45 in a wooded area. You heard that they were seen again, Donald and Candace, at night in the dark, pouring down rain, coming out of the wooded area. So, she had to leave something there that she needed to retrieve later. And what was missing? Summer Moon Utah Wells. So if you want to know what they were leaving and retrieving, it sounds like, to me, and this is my opinion, Summer Moon Utah Wells. I don't think I can, I can make it any clearer than that. I did want to bring out, I heard that H's dad is now, somebody brought H up tonight, but H's dad, I heard, is wanting a DNA on H because now he doesn't believe that H really belongs to him. Okay. You weren't the best dad for a kid anyway. From what Allie says, you didn't ever raise or pay child support for H diligently, but you wanted DNA. Like you were the dad of the fucking year. H is going on 18 years old. And you wanted DNA now? Fucking really? Seriously? No, I have to admit Hunter's way better looking. I have to admit that. I just thought he took after Allie. But yeah, I can see how the guy wants a DNA, right? I mean, he looks like Charles Manson crawled out from under a fucking rock. Actually, Charlie was better looking than H's dad, right? But, and H, no, he doesn't look anything like his old man, or who this guy claiming to be his old man, right? He don't look nothing like him. So, but like I said, I just thought it's because he looked like Allie. I mean, Allie's actually a pretty woman. I mean, she is pretty. I'm sorry. I had to step away from the mic for a minute. Allie is a, I'm sure in her younger days she was probably, probably a lot prettier. But she's still not a bad looking woman. To be honest with you. Allie obviously took after her dad. Because her mom looked like she'd been beat with an ugly stick, if you ask me. But, it is what it is. I can't lie. I do think she looks, must look like her dad. But Hunter is a good looking boy. Yeah, that's true, Molly. That is true. That is true. That would just piss Steve Wilkos, that would just piss him off once he found out that guy wasn't ever a dad anyway, right? So why come here and and now try to call yourself one. You want a DNA. You gotta be kidding me. So anyway, I thought that was pretty weird, you know, seeing the fact that, you know, he come running out here, my son, my son, my son stuff, you know, for 20 months. And then all of a sudden he wants a DNA. That's just creepy, right? That's creepy. Molly, you're a trip. You know. And then, you know, like Don and Candace, you know, oh, Grandis is gone. Grandis ain't up on, and busted, right? Did you hear that old lady screaming? She's all screaming in the background, you know. PJ this and PJ that, prayer garden, that prayer garden. Fuck prayer garden. As you know, Grandis, I found your freaking first school pictures. There you go. This is Grandis. That's Grandis's little yearbook picture. 1943. Don't it look like her? There you go, Grandis. We found your picture. You guys, they want to put PG out there. Well, we finally found yours. Put you out here now. Right? Yeah. Yeah, she was going off, right? But yeah, I thought I'd let everybody see Grandis when she was back when she was nice, right? Picture of her back when she was nice. Not all bitching about PG. There you go, Grandis. Snap a picture, put it in a frame. You probably lost that one by now. 1943. That was the last good year for Grandis. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. She reminds me of Frankenstein. Yeah, she reminds me of something, all right. You know, and even she was bringing old weirdos up there around the house and those children, right? She was bringing her share of weirdos around there. Her and Candace. And, you know, Candace supposed to be getting, you know, Mother of the Year award on some of these fucking channels. Come on. Give me a break. No. Absolutely no Mother of the Year awards there. And Grandis don't get one either, right? Grandis don't. I guess, you know, I didn't ever really believe in that, you know, that old saying, you know, daughter like mother. But I do now, right? I do now. Oh, prayers of garden, you're going to jail. Strong. Yeah, well, I'm tell you what. If I did, it'll have nothing to do with none of this, right? I might be if you keep talking the way you are in my fucking chat, right? Why don't you take a link? Bring that ass up on panel. Come up on panel. Tell me what makes you think that? What makes your small little mind think such bullshit? You know, I ain't going nowhere but to bed and sleep well, because I know that everything I said tonight is the truth. I know I ain't a fucking bootlicker like you, right? I know that, you know, when I go and brush my teeth, I won't have to scrub my brown fucking tongue, right? I won't have to scrub a brown tongue because my tongue ain't fucking brown. There you go. But I bet yours is. You're going to have to be there all night trying to scrub your brown tongue clean. My fucking tongue is nice and pink the way it should be. Right? Well, yours is freaking, your two-forked tongue right there is all brown from licking up on the Wells' asses. Right? You're a bootlicker. Shut your fucking mud flaps and get out of here. Go where, you know, the Wells are being worshipped. Go where the Wells are being supported and worshipped. Go over there and say, Salama, 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 right? Go do that little thing while you're going up and down, right? That's what the fuck I got to say. Go do that little thing. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Yeah, they don't want to take the fucking link because they can't come up here and tell me shit. You know, in order to try to, you know, the Wells can't do anything, because then my attorney will say, well, you know, we want them to prove themselves not to be guilty, right? Prove yourselves 100%, clear yourselves, because right now you're fucking suspects. And last time I checked, suspects could be guilty parties, right? And I mean, I didn't see nobody else coming out of the woods. The Wells were. Didn't see nobody else in a wooded area on the 15th, but from what we understand, Candace was. You know, from what law enforcement says, there, you know, no signs of an abduction, which means, you know, we don't believe that bullshit at all. And from what law enforcement says, the Wells ain't cooperating. They lawyered up. Guilty. In the eyes of law and my eyes as well. You know, that's our opinion and we're allowed to have it. I'm allowed to have the same opinion that law enforcement has. Law enforcement ain't questioning nobody else. They're questioning Candace and Don Wells, right? Mostly Candace and Grandis. I mean, these people act guilty. They look guilty. From what I'm seeing, in my opinion, they are guilty. And I'm sure law enforcement seeing the same exact thing, right? So, you know, there you go. But, you know, if the Wells have some kind of problem, you know, I say bring it. Because you know what? I do put my money where my mouth is. I tell you right now, I get a lawyer to wipe the Wells' fucking asses and probably do what law enforcement down there can't do. And that is fucking get the Wells either cleared or convicted for the crime, right? Because at that point they'd have okay. I'm sorry, I was having some problems with my mic. Anyway, exactly. As I was saying, at that point the Wells would have no choice but to get themselves cleared, or else they would be uncleared. That means they would have to, prove themselves in order to do anything to anybody out here that feels that the Wells are guilty as fucking hell. They would have to prove themselves 100% innocent. I don't think they could do it. But hey, if they want to challenge, I'm up for it. Right? I'm up for it. I will motherfucking get a lawyer and make them prove themselves innocent. Because you can't, until they do, they ain't got a leg to fucking stand on. No matter what people out here are saying. Right? It don't matter. There you go. It doesn't make a world of freaking difference. So, you take your little gel thing and you stick it up your fucking ass. That's what I got to tell you. Stick it up your fucking ass. Go threaten some fucking body else, because you ain't gonna come threatening me. I know the law. I'm making my business to know the law. Right? Don and Candace Wells don't even know. Well, I guess they do. At least Donald does, right, Donald? You don't want fucking even, you don't want no part of PG. None. I don't know any fucking body that would. You got me bent. I'm no fucking bootlicker. I'm no ass kisser. I don't go around and turn on a baby's back for some click, likes, and views. I don't do that. Don and Candace Wells, if they're up for a challenge, then get off your fucking asses and prove yourself innocent. Take that ass to the Steve Wilkos show, Don Wells. Go take that lie detector's test. And you go with him, Candace. And take one too. And take your ass, old grandma. You want to run your fucking stud out here? Take your ass as well. Right? Take your ass as well. All three of you go. You all three up on that hill, running your freaking suts. Take those three asses and go get that freaking lie detector's test. Let's see how innocent you motherfuckers are. when it comes to the Summer Moon Utah Wells, June 15th, 2021, of her coming up missing. Let's see how innocent you are. Because so far all I'm seeing is how fucking guilty your asses are. Right? And it ain't coming out of my mouth. It's coming out their own mouth. I didn't say the word what was, tended. I didn't say that. He did. He did. He said he was crying in that picture a week and a half before. He said that what had been tended, meaning planned, already put into motion, had been carried out. He said it, not me. He told a story in a way he felt wasn't going to get his ass prosecuted. And the story he told you was he already had plans while this baby's laying there sleeping. Right? That's what he said. Those are all facts. Absolutely. Those are all facts. So, I don't want to hear no bullshit. They got a search warrant when Don was in jail, kicked his freaking door open, and went in through their house then. And does that not tell people, does that not tell people where law enforcement is looking for Summer Moon Utah Wells? It's at 110 Ben Hill Road. They're looking for everything right there on that property. Right there. They're still looking for clues right there. Right? Candace and Donald are still running their mouths. Candace and Donald Wells think that, they think that they're both smarter than law enforcement. Law enforcement is just kicked back, biding their time. They might already have enough to prosecute the shit out of them. It's possible they're just letting child, protective services get the boys out of the way first. I think that they probably are waiting for, child protective services to take full custody of the boys till they're 18. And after that, I'm thinking that the Wells are going to probably get prosecuted. Because law enforcement has to have a lot of stuff solid. They got to have a lot of solid stuff in order to keep going at the Wells that aggressively. Right? What I'm saying is law enforcement ain't thinking. They pretty much know the Wells are the culprits to Summer's disappearance. That's what I'm saying. So, if you want to know who's going to jail, I'm afraid I have to break the bad news to you, but if you want to know who's going to end up in jail for all of this, my opinion is going to be Candace and Don Wells. And Grandma. Let's not forget Grandma, who was up there knowing everything and said nothing, right? Even grandma, this lady that wanted to adopt Summer, right? Wanted to adopt Summer when she was born, that could have saved her, didn't. Instead, she wants to protect her daughter. She wants to protect, that land so she has a place to live. Grandma is all for grandma's self, right? If grandma really loved those kids, she wouldn't have been bringing fucking weirdos up there like her daughter was around those children. They would have worried about the kids, right? I mean, you take Jose, for instance. Let's take Jose, for instance. Jose, when they didn't know Jose from Adam. And Jose admitted that he had, at the time, a lot of mental issues that he was dealing with. I personally think Jose still had a lot of mental issues when he was talking, when he was talking on Justice for All. I don't think that, Jose's life really had changed much from when he was at the Wells, right? But what I'm saying is they didn't know this man from Adam. They bring him up there onto their property. He's got mental issues. He's going through a lot of things. He could be dangerous, right? Very dangerous. They bring him up there. And do you think for 5 minutes that Candace, old fucking grandma, could protect everybody from a Jose? Really? No. I mean, Jose could have wiped all of those women and them kids out in one night. Right? All he had to do, they all wanted to sleep with him. All he had to do was make his rounds to Allie, boom, Candace, upstairs, boom, and old Granny, boom. And then there'd been nothing left but the kids. They couldn't have protected themselves against a man like Jose, but they still brought him there, not caring. Now, don't tell me that a good mother would do that, because a good mother wouldn't. A good mother is not going to put herself or her children in harm's way for no damn body. Right. Allie and her kids were there as well. Allie was there when she picked up a homeless guy, right? And stayed in the car with him. Stayed in the vehicle. I'm going to tell you something. If I am with someone and they pull over to pick up a homeless person that they don't know anything about, hasn't ever met, I'm getting the fuck out when they get in. Right? I'm out. You want to pick up that person, you do it on your own. Don't you even implicate me in that shit. You want to take a risk your life, you go right ahead and do that. But you're not risking mine. Right? What kind of friend is Candace to risk Allie's life? Just because she's mental and wants to risk her own, right? Exactly. A good mother would not send her 3 boys out by themselves to look for their kidnapped sister. Exactly. But you know what? She wasn't worried about that because they already knew, right? She knew nothing was going to happen to the boys because, you know, and you're exactly right. You are exactly right. If one child's already missing, you're going to immediately call law enforcement. You're going to leave grandma with the bum knee to sit in a room and watch all the kids. Don't take your eyes off of them. And you are going to go and start looking for your child yourself, right? You're going to go out. You're going to start getting the neighbor's attention. You're going to start looking. You're not sending, you're not going to send 3 more out there to disappear also. Because, you wouldn't know. You don't know if it was a wild animal, right? You don't know if there's a wild animal out there. You don't know if there's a psychopath out there. You don't know what's out there. And you sure to hell ain't going to send your other children out there to get attacked by whatever it was. Right? But Candace did. That's becoming the norm. That's becoming the norm with a lot of people ain't raising their children anymore, right? Grandma ends up raising them. Grandma ends up raising them until they're big enough to raise themselves, right? Or, somebody else raises them. I mean, society, grandma, child protective services. It's like everybody's raising them, but the people, the parents that's having them. Because, too many people have substance abuses now. Do I feel sorry for people that, do I feel sorry for people with alcohol issues, that are alcoholics? No, because that was their choice, right? That's their choice. I mean, when I was a teenager, I knew I shouldn't be drinking. When I was a teenager, I knew I wasn't supposed to be drinking. If I ain't supposed to be drinking when I'm a teenager, and I probably ain't supposed to be drinking when I'm an adult, right? I know that a lot of people die because of drunk drivers, right? That's who I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for the victims of those type of people. You ain't supposed to be doing something, don't do it. The Bible says, to drink a little wine for the sake of your stomach, but do not be drunken. Now, if you was listening to the Bible, God's word, you wouldn't be drunken, right? But people drink wine to get drunk. I mean, they wouldn't even be drinking if they wasn't looking to get drunk, right? And that's your choice. That's your choice. So why should I feel sorry for you for your bad choices? Don't make no sense to me. And how about substance abusers? I'm supposed to pity these substance abusers? Something they shouldn't have ever been doing in the first place? But they did? And then I'm supposed to give them a pity party? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I've been there. I've been in that cesspool. I've been in the cesspool of drinking. I've been in the cesspool of, all the drugs. Been there. I made wrong choices. But I don't want no fucking pity party for it. I made wrong choices, and those were my choices to make, and it was my mess to clean up. And I don't deserve a pity party. I don't deserve no damn pity party. Right? That was my wrong choices to make. I made them. That ain't on nobody but me. I had to clean my own ass up, right? I had to get my own self together. I had to pull my own ass out of there, and no one could have ever pulled me out until I was ready to pull my ass out anyway. So, it's your own choices. My choice was to get out of it. My choice was to become a different person, and that's what I became. And if I can do that, anyone can do that. Don't tell me I'm so much stronger than other people. That's bullshit. Those other people just don't want to be strong. And that's their choice too. But don't ask me to have a pity party for them. Because I can't. The pity party shit is so late 1990s, early 2000s. Nobody's into that shit anymore. I think we all got our fucking stomachs full of it. I think we all been to the place where we want to just puke over the pity party bullshit. Debbie Downers. Everything's a problem. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't. This is a time where people, we're at a time now where people want strength. Don't tell me your damn problems. Don't tell me your problems. Tell me what the hell how you're going to handle them. Right? And once you tell me how you're going to handle them, get it done. Don't just tell me. Now show me. People ain't pity partying no more. What people are doing now is they're telling you, you know what? I don't care. That's your problem. You need to straighten it out. We are back to the tough love, baby. Because people don't want to be boggled down. They're boggled down enough with their everyday life. They don't want to be boggled down with everybody else's. People today want positive in their life. They want when you show up, they want to laugh. They want to talk. They want to feel alive again. They don't want to be drugged down more than they already are with your bullshit as well. Right? Handle your own self. Quit expecting everyone else to bear your problems. Because they're not everybody else's problems to bear. Especially when you are on substance abuse and alcoholism. That's not nobody else's problems to be bearing. That's yours, and you need to clean it up. That's how I feel about those two issues. Now, if you're having some money struggles, or you're having, husband issues or wife issues or whatever, and you need someone to talk to, sure. But I don't want to talk about that every day either. I mean, I don't want to hear about that constantly. I mean, I don't mind having a listening ear, but, if you're going to stay in the situation and you're not going to, grab your ass and put on your big boy underwear or big girl panties and your shit kickers and do what you have to do to make your life right again, don't show up at my table. I don't want to hear it. I just don't. Right? That's how it is. I know that when we all start to go through something, we need somebody to talk to. We go and we talk with them, and they tell us, well, what we should do, ask us what we're going to do. And then, the bottom line that I've figured out on everybody's problems, they're going to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do anyway. Right? They're not going to do what I told them. And if they did, it's only because that's what they were going to do anyway. So, that's the thing. Now, if it's a wife that's, afraid, she's scared, then yeah, I think I might go the extra mile. I might go the extra mile with her to get her to safety. To save her, to get her and her children to safety, I'd go the extra mile. I would listen, I would talk, I would do everything I could to try to get her out of that situation. I would spend time on that. But, if it's if it's, you got a cheating husband and you're all angry about it and well, you got one of two decisions. You either keep him or get the fuck rid of him. Right? That's your decision to make. Either forgive him, keep him, or hold that animosity, hatred, give him a boot in the ass. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time on that because, that's an easy one for me. That's an easy one for me. Right? If he cheats on you, he's probably going to do it again, so boot him in the ass. Before you're sitting at my table, before you're sitting at my table telling me about one of 100 diseases he gave you. Get rid of his ass. Find someone that will not cheat on you. Someone that, someone that deserves you. What I'm trying to say is there's some things that, deserve to have some time spent on them. Some that don't. Some do, some don't. I'm not going to waste my time on things, on things that people don't want to fix anyway. It's bullshit. This life's too short. And I think people are starting to realize how short this life is. And they want more positive in their life. They want people to come around and tell them good things, They want people to come in and they like to joke around. They want to laugh. They want you to tell them, hey, you look good today. Hey, you're, nice things. Let's talk about, shopping. Let's talk about, redecorating. Let's talk about, positive things. Right? Let's talk about washing up the dishes and making some coffee and actually, have a good time together instead of some fucking pity party where everybody's going to leave feeling like shit. Right? Let's do that for a change. And that's how people used to help one another. That is how people used to help one another. And that's why people were healthier, happier. And I mean, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, those people were happy because you know why? They fed nothing but positive thoughts into everybody. Right? It was a time of laughter, kindness, caring, love. These people didn't have pity parties. They had Tupperware parties where everybody was laughing. What the hell happened? People are all isolated up and it's crazy. It's crazy today. And people's wondering, why so much crazy stuff's going on. Well, Welcome to isolation, folks. Welcome to where we talk to each other through a box instead of on the front porch. That's what I'm talking about. I think, I think that there was a separation, an abnormal separation between. I don't think that Candace has real mother instincts when it comes to the children, right? Candace, I think that Don and Candace want the kids. I think they want the children for the tax write-offs. They want the kids, in order to. Candace likes having the kids in order to go places and be able to talk to other adults while her kids are playing with the other people's kids. I think Candace's kids were her way of bonding with other folks. So, they didn't love their kids. They were using their kids, right? They did not love their children. They were using their children. There's a big difference, right? I mean, you have family. You have family. We all have that family that don't love you. They use you. They want you to do everything for them. They do nothing for you, right? They didn't love you. They used you. You loved them, but they did not love you. And that is what's going on up at the Wells. They didn't want those kids. They didn't love those kids. They were using those kids for their own self gains, right? It was for their own self gains. And that's why they weren't bathing them, feeding them, taking them to the doctors, doing all the things that needed to be done for the kids. Because they didn't love them. It just is what it is. We have to see it for what it is. The sooner we face the truth, the sooner we'll get to the truth, right? If we keep trying to turn a blind eye and we keep, refusing to face what is, then we ain't ever going to get 100% full truth. We have to aggressively go after the truth. Everybody wants the truth, but nobody wants to believe what the truth is. I mean, I think that we as a society are so used to hearing all the lies and the bullshit and believing lies and bullshit that, when someone comes to us with the truth, we don't believe it. We don't believe it. The truth today has become a lie, and the lies have become the truth to society. We are actually living an ass backwards life. What is good has become, all the good stuff has somehow became evil, and all the evil shit somehow has became good. I'm not going to accept that, because God gave me enough sense to know what's good and what's evil, right? He gave me enough sense to know the difference. And I'm not going to support evilness. I'm not going to support that shit. They didn't support it in the early 1900s. They didn't support it in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Well, in the 80s, I guess they started it, right? They started it little by little to where we're at now. To where pure fucking evilness seems to be our norm. Well, not for me. Not for me. It's too, as I said, I'm not for sale. And I don't think any of you are either. I don't think you are either. Every one of us have a heaven to win and a hell to shun. That's our main purpose on this earth. Is to gain everlasting life by doing what's righteous. And you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me to go along with no evilness. I don't care. I don't care if people think that evilness is righteousness. I know it's not, and I'm not going along with it. It's bullshit. Just because someone says it and the big majority is going with it, doesn't make it right. I'll be that 1% that isn't going along with it to save my soul. There you go. Right? They say that at the end of time, there'll be very few that makes it. Right? Very, very few. There'll be two in a field, one to be taken, the other one left. Wide is the way to destruction, narrow is the way to everlasting life. Well, like I said, I'll walk on that narrow road if I have to walk it alone. Hopefully, I don't, but I will. And I think every last one of you will too. It's just the way it is. The Wells use God. We truly worship and love God. The Wells lie. We tell the truth. No one could do their missing child the way the Wells have done their missing child if their child was truly missing. Right? And more so, they couldn't do their missing child the way they're doing their missing child if they truly loved her. They have done nothing but fucking play games. Nothing but lie. Nothing but is made one big shit show out of their own daughter's missing case. We did not make a shit show out of Summer's missing case. They did. By coming out here and playing their games and all their dirty little bullshit, as they're still doing. They're worthless ass pieces of fucking shit. And I don't care what anybody says. Those are the worst three fucking humans I've ever seen in my life. Candace, Candace, and Don Wells are all three piles of shit. All three have done nothing but thought it was funny to say one thing after the other. They haven't ever told the truth in this case at all. They've all steered clear of June the 15th, 2021's timeline. Because they know that timeline tells the truth. That's why they do not want to talk about it. They ain't even talking about it with law enforcement, let alone us. And I'm going to tell you the one thing that pissed me off more than anything is when I heard someone saying, oh, that timeline don't mean nothing. Candace don't have to talk about that. That timeline means everything. Everything. Because that timeline is when that baby came up missing. So you just sit there and say that it didn't mean shit, piss me off. And that's the difference between someone actually trying to find Summer and someone just caring about their click likes and fucking views. Makes me want to puke. I'm tired of watching the Wells get their asses kissed and their damn boots licked. When we all know, them son of bitches ain't ever told the truth about nothing in this case. And this little girl, she needs to be found. She needs to be brought home. She needs justice. You know, I wasn't even for justice before. I just wanted Summer found. I just wanted her brought home. I just wanted closure for her, her brothers, and everyone else, including myself. But now I want justice. You fucking hear that, Candace and Don Wells? I want justice. I'm tired of the bullshit and the games. And I'm going to tell you right now, justice will get served. Justice will be served. And you know what? I don't want no apologies from anybody that was kissing their ass. You turned on Summer. You turned on the victim. You turned on the one that needed you most. You can kiss my fucking ass. You kiss the Wells ass, but I'm going to tell you what, your fucking channel's going to be gone once their asses are convicted. Your channel's gone. Because nobody out here is going to ever want to listen to a damn thing you got to say again. Right? Nobody out here wants to hear somebody that will turn on a victim for click, likes, and views. This is about Summer. And the only part that the Wells play in it is trying to get the fucking truth out of them so we can find out where this baby is and get her home and get the closure that everyone needs. And you know, to get the truth out of them, you got to ask them the hard questions. And they're not going to let you answer the hard questions. I'm just done. I'm done. You know, I'm done. I did not want to turn on anyone in this case. I really have fought hard not to, be angry with anyone in this case. I really have. But I can't stand it any longer. I can't. Summer is getting sold out. She's getting sold out. You guys all know it. And I'm going to tell you, Miss Daisy, you're motherfucking just like Cher. You're just like Benny Keys. You're just like the rest of them fuckers that got the Wells in their pocket and didn't want to ask the hard questions because you wanted to click likes and views too much to get it done. You're just fucking like them, and you tried to say that you wasn't going to be like that, that you're going to let people ask them the hard questions and all the bullshit, and then all of a sudden you changed your mind, and now you're trying to fucking protect them. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I cannot go along with that. I don't believe for 5 minutes that you were totally against these motherfuckers for 20 months. When Cher had them and Benny Keys had them and everybody else had them, you were talking them the fuck down. But the minute that you think you're going to get click likes and views out of them, you start kissing their fucking ass and licking their boots. No. I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that supports Daisy's fucking channel does not support Summer Wells. There you go. You do not support Summer. You support the Wells. So if you want to go over there and support that fucking shit, you go right ahead and do it. Because I'm not. And this channel here is not supporting it. There you go. And no, I can no longer be friends with someone that supports the Wells instead of this baby. I will not do it. So, there you have it. And I cannot stand to listen to all of that fucking bullshit over there. I had to literally turn it off and walk the fuck away today. This ain't about Summer. This ain't about Summer. It's all about Summer. It's all about Summer. People were on Christine, Miss Daisy, because Christine was taking choice words, keywords she called them, keywords to make the Wells look fucking innocent. And I agree with the girl on your panel. You need to look at the overall words, not keywords, to fucking fit your narratives. So you can kiss the Wells' asses and get click likes and views. There you go. There you go. Fuck your keywords. You, Christine, and you guys have become major fucking Wells ass kissers. And it's all about the money. It's not about Summer. And I suggest people just steer clear of that channel. Steer clear of it. Do not support it. Do not support it at all. Do not support it. If you support Summer, you will not support that channel. You cannot serve two masters. Either you serve righteousness or you serve evilness. Either you serve the victim or you serve the fucking predators, the suspects. You make that choice. I choose to serve righteousness. And I choose to serve the victims, Summer. So I'm going to tell you what. Daisy will not get no more click likes and views from me. I will not ever go on her channel again. I do not condone what she's doing. At all. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it had to come out this way. But I won't do it. We all know the truth. We know the Wells are shit fucking parents. We know that every one of us do not want the boys going back to what Summer had to endure to get them out of there. And we know the Wells have done nothing but lied, played games, and done nothing to search or find this little girl. And they are the parents, and done nothing. We know the truth. We know the truth. Daisy knows the truth. She was telling the truth all the way up until she got the Wells on her channel. And now she's backtracking. She's backpedaling for the click, likes, and views and all the bullshit. So don't give them the click, likes, and views. Boycott that fucking channel. Show the Wells that they ain't going to get support. What they're going to get is fucking looked at and asked the hard damn questions. And nobody's, and unless they're willing to answer those questions, then, on a reputable channel willing to let it be asked, don't come out here at all. Because that channel will get boycotted as well. We will boycott that channel also. Summer's supporters will start boycotting. It just is what it is. I think that Kathy lady was a fucking weirdo, a liar, possibly a fucking leg licker laying around with Candace. That's what I think, to be honest with you. I think she's no better than Candace is. And they had some falling out for some reason, right? They had some falling out for some reason. But, they must have liked smelling each other's stench. Because, they still act like they're in love with each other or something. I don't fucking know. But with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. And we'll meet back up here, God willing. We'll meet back up here again tomorrow night. Show our support for Summer. We will keep pushing on law enforcement. I will be calling law enforcement tomorrow, asking some questions about some things, and I will bring that to you. We got a ways to go. This shit's just getting started. This here is just getting started. So I'm sure that nobody's going to want to miss what's coming next, right? We do not want to miss what's coming next. So buckle up your seatbelts, because I'm just getting started with this. We'll meet back, like I said, God willing. We'll be back in here tomorrow night, moving it forward. All right, everybody. I'm going to say good night. Please keep those prayers going up. Please keep them going up for our mod. Beautiful Sunflower, who lost her mother. Please keep them going up for Sweet Norway. God bless her. Much love to her. Keep them going up for her as well. I love that woman. We all do. And I know she needs prayers. So let's keep them going up for sweet Miss Norway. God bless. I appreciate that, Wolf Angel. God bless. And let's keep them going up for these missing children, especially Summer. We love Summer, and I know God's listening. God's got everything going in the right direction right now. Let's keep it going there. We are going to fight like hell from this day forward to make sure that we don't only get Summer home and closure for everyone, including her brothers, but we are going to get justice now. We are going to get justice. This shit has went too far, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. You understand that, Don and Candace Wells? Stop it or get prosecuted. It's your choice. Nobody's playing no longer. Nobody. Keep those prayers going up for that baby. Please keep them going up for the baby. Like I said, God is answering. In the name of Jesus Christ, please, when you get down on your knees tonight, you say your prayers tonight, tomorrow, the next day. Please say, God, please, let us find this baby, because I know he will. Keep faith, people. Keep faith. We're going to do it. God's going to bring this baby home, and we're going to get that justice. God bless. God bless everybody. Good night.